So some of you are aware that the blacks are going around the country knocking out Asian people, robbing them, stealing them from them, and they're being let out of jail, coming right back to the Asian community and repeating the same crimes. And instead of blaming the blacks, they're trying to blame it on the whites. It's the darndest thing I ever seen. They're trying to blame it on white people. We're looking at the blacks doing it, but they're saying it's white people. And there are some blacks who are dumb enough to believe that it's white people. It's mind-blowing to me. And I know there are some Asian females jumping on board now, trying to blame it on the whites because they hunger for power. My guest is author Kwon Lee, and I had author on the Fallen State TV. An amazing interview. You can check it out. He is a Korean American fine artist and recent guest on the Fallen State TV, as I said before. Arthur, welcome to the Jesse Lee Peterson radio show. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you for having me again, my friend.
I do appreciate it. I wanted to ask you about this attack upon the Korean people. It's mostly black people who are doing it. Why are they calling it? Why are they saying that white people are doing it?
Yeah, blacks assaulting Asians based on race is white supremacy.
I know. Isn't that the craziest thing I ever seen? Why are they saying what it is?
I was thinking about this a lot because I got like hundreds of messages in regards to this hashtag Stop Asian Hate movement, right?
Yes.
And I think it's important to frame this conversation with the right context because there's a reason why the left is so effective at destabilizing society. And it's because they have a stranglehold on culture. That's really what it is. So they can control the narrative, essentially. So they're targeting Asian people now to try to make us fall for the whole victim narrative here.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are in government and other areas, there are Asian people who are starting to pretend that they are victim, and they have started something called the AAPI hate movement. I don't get it. I don't know why the Asian people are starting to do it. Why?
I'm gonna. Okay, Andrew Breitbart, Dennis Prager, Michael Savage, they've been all saying the same thing ad nauseum for so long now.
Yeah.
Which is that we have to take back the culture.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So the left controls the narrative. So the reason why all these basically it's all divide and conquer. It's all divide and conquer. And I think that I think it's really important for us to make clear that people don't get their beliefs and their perspective based on statistics, spreadsheets, data, or any numbers. They get it based on stories, symbols, the art, or the branding, right? So, Jesse, what I'm doing is I'm taking a page out of your book. You know how you say things like the Great White Hope,
yes,
or White History Month and all that, or in the same way Trump does things like, he says things like lying Ted, crooked Hillary, sleepy Joe, all that sticks, right?
Yes.
So I was inspired by when Sheriff David Clark said Blue Lives Matter to Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
So I'm doing a hashtag rooftop Koreans, hashtag RTK thing. So I'm taking a page out of your guys' book. So I think it's important for us to, as conservatives, to play the semantic game.
Yes.
Which is what you've been doing for so long, right?
Yes.
But we have to play that game because we're superior at it because we have common sense behind it.
Yes.
But we got to speak up. We got to speak up, right?
Yep. How are you being treated by other Asians who are starting to believe it's white supremacists and you're trying to tell them that it's not? How are you being received?
This probably sounds really familiar to you. I mean, you are the winner of the Kuhn Award, right?
That's right.
That's
right, the Kuhn Award.
Bravo. but I'm being told, all the typical self-hating Asian, whatever, I don't, but it means nothing to me because
Right
all
on.
the Asian people tell me that are Asian liberals. And it's just, liberals, they really have nothing but fear mongering.
Yeah.
Like they really have nothing else. It's, I was talking to my studio assistant about this. She recently became more of a conservative, and I told her that every single argument, whether it's taxation, welfare, gun control, abortion, immigration, everything, we win by every metric. It's not even comparable, but the left owns big tech, media, Hollywood, the art gallery, music industry, entertainment, academia. So that's all spheres of influence. They have all of those pillars. So it's so important for conservatives to get back into culture because, again, people are influenced by analogies and stories. They're not necessarily captivated by the data. So it's true. What you're saying is, the reality is these are white supremacy is the greatest myth in America. The white people are not the ones assaulting Asians. It's just not. It's not.
It's not. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, it's so obvious, and it's so funny because I remember when I went to the Fallen State, I'm not always on the loop as much. So when you said that we can see it on the camera, I actually physically did not see the footage yet. But then you look back and you're right. It's right there. It's happening. It's like, it's absurd. It's absurd.
It's the craziest thing I ever seen. So there is this Asian movement going on now called the AAPI, Asian American Pacific Islander. Will this movement become like Black Lives Matter movement eventually if it's not stopped?
I want to warn. I'm going to warn people that this is exactly how Black Lives Matter started, right?
Yeah.
So it's all about the left is very good at branding and using their semantics are really strong.
Yeah.
So that's what when someone's. I remember when Black Lives Matter first started, they said, "Do you think Black Lives Matter?" I'm like, "Of course, Black Lives Matter. What kind of stupid question is that?" But then you realize what they're doing. They're using that as touched by an ideologue, right?
Yeah.
It's really being used as a tool. And that's the exact same thing as whatever you said, AA, LGBT, whatever you just said.
AAPI. Amazing.
Jesse, it's really, you know what it is? It's everything is about the individual versus the collective.
Yeah.
It really is that.
Yeah.
And it's another situation of groupthink. I don't buy it for a second.
Yeah.
The one reason why I'm promoting the rooftop Korean thing is because first of all, I have so many guns that Antifa would cry. I'm so armed. but more than that, it's so important to I really think that we need to go into this. We need to start going into the culture, and not only that is my parents' generation, Koreans, they come to this country legally because e pluribus unum, out of many one. We come here because America is about values and the spirit, not about identity and flesh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why you come here. So I was, my parents' generation, they when they were in Korea, they said, we're going to go to America and illegally become Republicans. They would say that. But
right
now, they're all like brainwashed or something. It's deafening.
It's the craziest thing I ever seen. I'm glad you're out there, and I'm glad that you're involved. And I really, really enjoyed my discussion with you on the FallenState.tv. I want to ask you, for the folks who may have not seen it yet on the Fallen State, about your artwork. It is some of the most amazing work I've seen in forever. How did you get into that? How did you become so good at it? And I want you to tell the folks how to get it.
Oh, cool. So, I think I shared on the Fallen State, I was never a good student, but I think it's also because I was in public school, and that's when they were just teaching all this phooey, we'll call it, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So I was really into fighting and painting. And my art was, for me, art was a form of self-expression. But I wanted to make art that was based on history, tradition, orthodoxy, and now what I'm known for is resurfacing traditionality and what again I said there's always mother nature versus father culture, and it's our job as men to maintain social cohesion. That is our responsibility given to us when we're born.
Absolutely.
So I try to do that visually. So my whole thing is God has blessed me with this talent. So in the Bible, they talk about if you don't use your talent adequately, it's a waste, and it's kind of doing injustice.
Yeah.
As long as you don't put your ego into it.
Yeah.
So I've been just putting my time in, and like anything else, you put your time in, and you're gonna get better. So this is just hours and hours and hours and hours and hours in the studio, essentially. But yeah, you can find my work at www.arthurkwonlee.com. And I don't, I'm always the last one to the party, Jesse, when it comes to social media, all of these things. I'm really about painting and making stronger work. I'm really about that. But I did just start a YouTube channel too, because I've been getting so much push to do so. And I was like,
nice.
Fine. Yeah, why not? I mean, it's I already get so much hate and love that I might as well make it more public. But one of my goals right now is well, let me first answer. You can just go on the contact form on my website, and my studio assistant will get back to you. Or if you want something more affordable, because I am on the luxury end, you can go to shop, and then I have some affordable stuff there too. But I'm just as passionate of waking people up as I am with my art now, because we're at that point,
And what is your YouTube channel?
Oh, I mean, I literally just started it. So if you just YouTube search Arthur Kwon Lee, just look for the black dragon logo with probably like no subscribers, and then and tune it right there. But I'm really just gonna be painting my I'm gonna be sharing my conclusion on our social climate whilst painting, essentially. And I have somebody doing all the editing and all that for me, because I'm Oriental and slow. So
that's right. Amazing. James, what do you want to spell for you? Arthur wants you to spell his name. Oh, sure. Arthur, they want you to spell your name for the folks so we can make sure that they get it.
Okay. Oh, sure. It's ARTHUR for Arthur, Kwon, which is KWON, and then Lee, LEE. Yeah, you can find it on all these different platforms. But Jesse, I think we have to all use our positions to speak up. I really think this is what it is. I have a lot of friends who are, I hate to say it, but so many conservatives are being cowardly.
Yeah,
I hate to say that, but
it's true.
It's almost like, I mean, we'll be talking, and I'll essentially agree with all the points they're saying, but then they'll zip their mouth shut when it's in a different context. And I think, listen, I understand we want to be civil, but the people you're hoping they're going to accept the civility, but they're not.
Yeah.
They're just going to encroach on you.
That's right.
You're just coming off weak. And additionally, they're going to hate you anyways.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. So you might as well speak up, because either way, they don't like you. For instance, this trial right now in Minneapolis.
Oh,
this trial happening right now.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Jesse, if this officer is convicted, they're going to say this is evidence that America is a systemically racist country. But if he's acquitted, they're going to say this is evidence that America is such a prejudiced land that they allow crazy killer cops that target black men to walk away freely. So either way, they're going to hate you. So you might as well speak up. This is what I'm saying. Like, you might as well speak up and, just, stand up for what's right. This is really what it is. This is why, I was kind of doing it comedically when I said hashtag RTK with rooftop Koreans.
Yeah.
But I remember when Sheriff David Clark stood up and said Blue Lives Matter. And I was like, you know what? this is right. Like, we got to take back the semantic game,
Yes.
you know, and stand up for what's right for each other.
Yep.
You know, so I'm just doing my, so this is the great Black Hope talking to the rooftop Korean.
That's right. Rooftop Korean. Amazing. I want to ask this, is the educational system having a negative impact on the Asian students? Like, they go to school, when they first start out, they're conservatives. By the time they're done with the education, they're liberals. Is that happening to a lot of them?
You know, unfortunately, everything the government does sucks. So public school is really where the brainwashing is shameless. You know, ignorance is arrogance.
Yeah.
Right. So they're shamelessly throwing it out. You know, this anti-white education and all this madness. But the problem here is it's starting to happen now with charter schools and private schools, which is what conservatives used to want their children to go to.
Right.
They don't have to deal with the government schools. But there's still some, you know, private schools that, man, but they cost money for the average people. But there's still some private schools that are not allowing this revision form of history, you know. But I will say right now, college today, universities, higher education,
Yeah.
which is what Asian people strive so hard for.
Yes.
They do more harm than good.
Yeah.
You know, they really do. I would say that anybody thinking of going to college, if you're going for a system, if it's a system, if it's mechanic, if it's engineering, law, you need to know the ins and outs, medicine, if it's a system, fine. You need to know the ins and outs.
Right.
If it's something fluid, if it's art, writing, don't go to school.
Yeah.
They're just going to teach you all this BS that is really just circle jerk. You don't have to waste your time. I went to an Ivy League art school, right? I graduated with $60,000 of debt. And then the whole time I was thinking, why did I do this? Now I paid it off by working 3 jobs within 4 years while still paying off all my car and all the stuff. But the whole time I was thinking, why did I go to art school? I just learned this silly Klingon language and basically got into social camouflage. Like that's all I dealt with. And I guess I just learned how to deal with crazy people. but universities are universities during you know, I would say my parents' generation was a very different thing.
Yeah.
But universities today are completely a postmodern tool by the left.
Yeah.
You know, it's really about it's a brainwashing channel.
It's a mess.
It's a mess.
Amazing. Well, I am glad that you're out there. I wanted to bring you on so that people can meet you. I'm glad about your YouTube channel that you're getting involved in that way as well. Tell the folks again how to get your painting, your artwork, and your YouTube channel, even though it's very new.
Okay, sure. Yeah, on Instagram, look up Arthur Kwon Lee. That's, again, ARTHURKWONLEE. The reason why I'm not doing just Arthur Lee is because Arthur Lee was like one of the most famous drummers and like, I can't remember the band. Like, it was not like, it's like the level of like the Rolling Stones. It's like, I'm not going to come up ever if you look up this. So I have to add the Korean part, Arthur Kwon Lee, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So on Instagram, Arthur Kwon Lee, arthurkwonlee.com. Also my YouTube channel, just Arthur Kwon Lee as well. It should come up. It's like a white logo with like a black kind of dragon logo. There's only one trailer up right now. So you can find all my content there. What I want to also share is, though, that anyone listening, especially Asian Republicans, we got to speak up.
Yeah.
We got to speak up. And there's 2 real big warnings I want to say right now before we wrap this up, which is one, this is just how Black Lives Matter started. It really is. So we have to be damn careful, right? It's only going to get worse. You give them an inch, they'll never apologize to the mob. You give them an inch, they take a mile.
Yeah.
That's number one. And number 2, if this officer is acquitted, you know what I'm saying? Man, get ready for the potentiality of some big riots happening.
Oh yeah.
I hate to say it, but
it's true.
I wouldn't be surprised, and I wouldn't risk it. I would get myself armed, and you know, you have to protect your business and your family, and those of you who are afraid to speak up, I laugh at you because I work in the art industry where it's entirely dominated by the left, and I'm vocal. I'll wear a MAGA hat at a gallery, right? So I don't understand why you guys are afraid to speak up, because you're shooting yourself in the foot. And I had a friend who just came out. It's like he's gay or something. He just came out as a conservative, and his whole entire family, because he's black, is now hating on him.
Yeah.
And he tells me, you know what? I still feel free of these constraints, even with that hate coming to me.
Absolutely,
but even
man.
then, it's worth it. You know what I mean? So it's almost like you just got to stand. You know, that song I always hear: "Stand up,
stand up, people, men of the world today."
Amen, brother.
Wow. And you're right. No matter how the trial turns, especially if the officer doesn't go to jail, there will be a riot. And these people have learned that they can get away with it. That the government and others are going to stand back and allow them to just destroy America. And so they will do it. It doesn't matter. They're going to have a riot. It's going to happen. But we got to stand up. We got
to stand. I mean, you remember Thomas Jefferson said, "One man who speaks the truth is the majority."
That's right.
Right. I mean, look at Jesus.
Yep.
He had to go against the Roman Empire.
Yep.
And then he won. You know what I'm saying?
That's right,
it's like
man.
It's like I mean, there's if you're going to be a real conservative, if you're going to be a real Christian conservative, you can't have fear, man.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But protect yourself. Get a gun.
I always said that the devil used a crowd when God only need one. One person can impact the world, where on the side of evil, they need a crowd on their side in order to do it.
That is so true.
Yeah.
That is so true.
It's amazing. Also, it's so good seeing you again, man. We're going to have you back.
Absolutely. Hey, listen, anytime you want the rooftop Korean with the Great Black Hope,
that's right.
That sounds like that's like the Avengers, man.
Absolutely. Rooftop Korean. Thank you, Arthur, and we'll talk soon, buddy.
Okay, much love, my friend. God bless you.
Love you too. All right. God bless you.
Love you.
Okay. Amazing. You got to take a stand, folks. He's so right about that. You got to take a stand. Amazing. And don't forget to like, follow, tweet, subscribe, and share the Jesse Lee Peterson radio show, folks. We really appreciate it. We are at war. It is a spiritual battle for the soul of America. And it's going to take all of us to do it.